Sunday morning, we're in Chiang Mai. We've just woken up after a majestic, long 10 days being involved with the Chiang Mai International Cricket Sixes tournament. It's over 300 participants, lots of fun, lots of camaraderie, lots of honest endeavour, but really rewarding. So to get back to Sisaket, we're going to do it in 3 stages. It's only fair we share it with you. So just at the moment, we're having some air put in the tyres before we commence south, and we're heading to Sukhothai. Welcome to Sukhothai. Now, one of the reasons this route was taken for our road trip was to afford me the opportunity to go to another new football venue. And I'm involved with a podcast about football in Thailand called a Thai Football Podcast, funnily enough. And it's amazing the connections you make through it, because we've got a regular correspondent called Bill. He's an ageing guy, originally from Aberdeen, who's had a rich life, living in Canada, parts of Thailand, Scotland of course, before he settled down here in Sukhothai 6 years ago. As I say, he sends the reports in, a fascinating man. He's got a beautiful way of talking, a real wordsmith and a funny man. Oh God, I've only met him now for 2 hours and some of the stories are unbelievable. So we've fitted this in, Dow and I, and we met Bill and his wife Toy. So here we are. This is the Thalai Luang Stadium in Sukhothai, where tonight Sukhothai are playing Buriram United, the biggest club by far in Thailand. And I'll encapsulate some of the stuff that goes on outside when you come to football in Thailand, because it's far more than the football when you come to a game. There's so many different things going on. In fact, a lot of people treat it as their night out, regardless whether they like going to a game or not, because they can just have fun. It's like a night market outside. You can have food and drink, inexpensive to get in, and you meet so many good people, and it's a real family vibe about it. That's why it's so good here. So I'll introduce you to Bill and Toy in a little while. But yeah, we'll show you the sights and sounds. The night's going on at the top end by the Chiang stage. It appears that there's a free concert on after the game with your match ticket. And I asked Bill if he fancied it, and is the Pope Polish? So I think we're going. And I'm being joined by a regular contributor, Dale. Here's Bill. Are you okay, Bill?
Bill, we are yelling, screaming for Sukhothai to have a big win tonight. 2-1, you heard it here first.
If Sukhothai win 2-1, I'm going to be very happy and likely to be very drunk. That's part of the beauty of tonight, because the podcast has seen me and Bill join up with our corresponding wives, and we're having a lovely time. We're just about to get stuck into the beer, so I'll report a little bit later. many food stalls outside the stadium, and our hosts, Bill and Toy. Well, Toy came along with Dow, my wife, shopping along here, and introduced me to spicy Sukhothai sausage. It's a bit like the little pepperamis that you can get in England. Only this is soft and chewy and extremely spicy. Absolutely perfect football food with a cold beer. Many cars pull up and open the backs, a bit like American sports, and have picnics out at the back of them, and everybody mixes together and gets to know each other. It really is a fantastic vibe, and don't get me wrong, Thailand's very lucky to have the climate to be able to do this sort of thing. But wow, it is fantastic. Hassle-free, cheap and great fun. So here we are. Bill and Toy have gone inside the stadium because Bill can't walk too much, and he's introduced us to these beautiful people. Sawadee Krap! The chaos to get to the concert is unbelievable. We lost our friends. We've eventually got in. The superstar band on, and it's starting to pour down. You couldn't write it. Well, I don't reckon much to this superstar band have packed in because it's raining. The question is, how are we going to get all these cars out the stadium car park? And all these people who come to the concert were all leaving in droves.
แล้วก็ตอนนี้นะคะอย่าเพิ่งไปไหนกันนะคะ
Oh, there's an announcement.
เพราะว่าเดี๋ยวเราจะมี
It's not dull. We've had to help take these down. They've got massive heavy bases and the wind's getting up and it's blowing the banners over and it's getting dangerous. We're going as soon as Toy comes with the car for Bill. Well, that was a heap of fun. Toy's got the car, we've got Bill in the car. Down nearly got blown away holding the umbrella. It was different. Concert abandoned, washed out, blown out, everything out. Well, what a fun day that was. Very scenic car journey down from Chiang Mai to Sukhothai. Wonderful time with Bill and Toy. What a lovely couple. Bill showing it doesn't matter how old you are, just enjoy life. And sadly, we were washed out at the concert. The name of the artist, Bank Clash, is extremely popular, especially amongst youngsters here in Thailand. And there was a massive crowd gathering and utter chaos trying to get away because of the storm. It took probably an hour to get back here, which normally is a 15-minute journey. But never mind. Yeah, so today we're going to go around the historic park. We're staying quite near to it. We were going to go on the bicycle, but it's very hot after the rain last night. And there is quite a lot of traffic. It looks very much like Ayutthaya sort of scale. So we're going to go around in the car, stop off and do some filming as we go. And then head down to Kamphaeng Phet, where we'll be staying this evening and meeting another lovely couple, a foreigner who's made Thailand his home, and his new wife. So what can I tell you about Sukhothai? Let's discover the province and its history. Sukhothai Kingdom was discovered in 1279 by King Kamphaeng. Its existence forms the early part of modern Thailand as it's generally known. It was followed by the Ayutthaya Kingdom, then the Thonburi Kingdom, before the capital moved to Bangkok. Sukhothai is probably most famous for its tourism and the history that it provides. It's got a UNESCO World Heritage Park that we're going to discover, with many old ruins very similar to Ayutthaya. The capital of the province is Sukhothai Thani, which has a population of 37,000. The population of the entire province is 573,000. Now, to get here, you can do so by flight nowadays. The former Ministry of Justice, a very powerful person in Thailand, has a similar role to Nevin Chipchop in Buriram. And if he says something's going to happen, it generally happens. He built the football stadium for Sukhothai FC, who are doing very well, punching above their weight compared to more populous cities with football clubs. And he also opened an airport, which our friends Bill and Toy say is worth a visit on its own, with a zoo, temples, tourist attractions. It's run by Bangkok Air, whereas previously visitors would have to fly to Pitsanalok, which is where the nearest railway station is. So let's take a look at the wonderful historical park of Sukhothai. The historic park is undoubtedly stunning, but they want 100 baht for every attraction, and there's so many of them. So what we've decided to do is just make the best of it. You need a full day really to go around, and the energy to cycle like those people are doing over there across the bridge. So we're going to make the best of it, but yeah, very beautiful. Sukhothai, a nice stopover. Our hotel was okay, a little bit pricey at 900 we thought, but the staff were excellent and a good location. As for the news part, Sukhothai Thani, our friends who were with us, I asked Bill a few questions about what happens in town and he just raised his eyebrows and absolutely nothing. In fact, when we were going back, I did joke we were going to the disco, and he, what disco? So it's a town of two bits really, just a functional provincial small city, and then the historical park where the tourists generally congregate. And we'll see what Kamphaeng Phet brings. That's where we're heading now. We're about half an hour away, where there's also a small historical park which we'll be visiting first. Welcome to Kamphaeng Phet. Okay, quick flavour of Kamphaeng Phet Historical Park. Like all cities, has a city pillar shrine where many people come to worship, and it's been noticeable here that many cars honk their horns as they go by, perhaps some kind of local ritual. Yeah, the lady selling the lottery confirmed. They go past, honk their horn for good luck. Kamphaeng Phet have a football club. They play in the Thai League 3 North Region here at the Chiang Stadium. It's right in the town centre, which is an obvious help. Multi-purpose stadium with an enclosed field at one end with a school behind it, and we're right by the River Ping. Well, it's a municipal stadium, like many at this level of Thai football. It's certainly one of the better ones. Yeah, definitely one for the bucket list to return to, so I can see a game being played here. This is the River Ping that flows through Kamphaeng Phet. Plenty of restaurants and hotels across the water, which is where we're going to be staying. The river flows down from Chiang Mai and joins with another river at Nakhon Sawan. And it's strange, we've only been here maybe half an hour, 40 minutes in Kamphaeng Phet, but it's a place that I really do have a feel for. It's got a great vibe. So we're going to set off now and find our accommodation. What a beautiful place to come for exercise, and a proper path for walking and cycling right by the river.
มีอาหารอะไรแนะนำที่นี่
So this is where we're staying, the Mango House Resort and Cafe. And first impressions are very good. We're waiting for our room, but the cafe and restaurant has an amazing menu. Just gonna have a snack because we're eating with our friends later at 5 o'clock. But what a view! I think there's a strong contender for us staying here again if we return. Now I'm going to the football. So Kamphaeng Phet, here's a few details for you. The actual town, like many others, is the same name as the province. The actual town has a population of 29,000. The province with 700,000. Its history goes a long way back to Chiang Mai in 14th century and the Sukhothai and Ayutthaya kingdoms. It's famous for its historical and national parks. To get here, you do need to get here by bus, though perhaps a flight to Sukhothai and then the journey of about an hour. Industry, well, grows a lot of bananas here. So we can eat healthily while we enjoy the beautiful scenery of Kamphaeng Phet. Now. We're sitting, relaxing outside after a beautiful few hours with lovely people. We're very lucky to have such good friends, and great to reunite with Alan and his good lady. Lots of good stories, beautiful food, lovely atmosphere. And yeah, Kamphaeng Phet is a beautiful place. I think we'll come back. Another beautiful morning in Thailand. There doesn't seem to be any other type. Yeah, another beautiful evening spent with a couple who live what many would describe as being off the beaten track in Thailand. And it's very interesting when you talk to Westerners why they end up living in places that most might not head to as a first option. It's generally because they're the home places of their good ladies. It's certainly the case with mine and Sisaket. Bill's wife Toy, originally from Sukhothai, which is where they've ended up, and the same with Pung, being from the Kamphaeng Phet region, which is why Alan's here. But the one thing that sort of comes out common is just how great and healthy a lifestyle we can lead here and get real value for money rather than being in the big cities. And it also helps to open the mind, because there maybe aren't all the same attractions and opportunities that Westerners generally emanate towards. We make the most of what is here and get more out of it, I think. And another thing that's certainly in common is the ease of immigration and doing your visas and things like that, and getting to know people, you know, rather than just being surrounded by thousands of foreigners. the ones you meet, you build relationships with and learn the stories and take time to talk, because it's a much slower pace of life. Bill, a fascinating story on Sunday of his life, now in his 70s, most content. Toy looks after him beautifully. They go all over watching Sukhothai football to see much of Thailand. Alan last night, been in newspapers, written some of the top stories you'll have read in this region over the years, in the Bangkok Post, the Nation, and in a leading Cambodian paper, whether it be on the front page headline, and seriously some of the biggest news stories, as well as being a sports editor. So that was a fascinating chat back, as well as the amazing amount of people that we know through different things, you know, the networking. So it was fantastic. So the plan today, we're going to go to see Alan and Pung's house, not too far from this beautiful resort, and see how they're getting on, because they're going to open a steakhouse and bar, which should be interesting to see. We've got big plans for that. And then later this morning we're going to head towards Chaiyaphum, back towards the Isan region, a journey of about 5.5 hours today, just a stopover before we complete the journey tomorrow to Sisaket. If any of you happen to be in Kamphaeng Phet, I cannot recommend Mango House Cafe and Resort enough. Stunning views, as you see, a fantastic menu. We paid 900 a night for our little cabin, and it's got everything working properly. You know the frustration when so many times when you think, oh, this is nice, and you find things that don't work. This place is absolutely perfect. Prices can go up to about 1,200 depending on demand, but well worth the value, I would say. The staff in the restaurant couldn't be more obliging, just exactly what we needed. So I stop at the services. We're on the A1 down towards Nakhon Sawan, and as predicted, Pung and Alan's restaurant will be a winner. I'm convinced of that. They've got a great supplier for steaks. Might be a few months before it opens, but it's somewhere that we'll certainly head back to, especially as 200 metres away there's a golf course. Another attraction of Kamphaeng Phet, which had a lot of ruins spread around it. A truly underrated place. Now that's what I call clever. The options at Thai service stations never fail to amaze me. Lots of food and drink options, no alcohol. There's usually a cafe Amazon, and this one, unbelievably or not, a laundrette. Welcome to Chaiyaphum. So, that lady there, Dow, Cablot, DMAC, she is driven from all the way down there. We are in the Phetchabun Mountains in Chaiyaphum province, and it was a challenging drive to say the least for one reason or another. But what a view! Yeah, the Phetchabun Mountains sort of divide central and northern Thailand with Isan, and getting across is not the easiest. You can either go over the mountains or you can go south by Nakhon Ratchasima, which is an awful long way. It's a bit hazy today, certainly very hot, but incredible place. Glad we stopped for a couple of minutes just to take it in. So it would appear that Chaiyaphum's quite a vast place, with over 1,106,000 people living in the province. And like many other provinces around Thailand, especially in Isan, where there's 19 others, it's got a big reliance on agriculture, where rice, tapioca and sugarcane are grown. Lots of parks and wildlife sanctuaries up here. The Khmer people founded Chaiyaphum in the 12th century, and then the Lao people, there's a lot of Lao spoken here for some reason. They came down in 1817. Now we're going to go down into the town itself, and I'm not sure how much sightseeing there is. It just seems like a stereotypical Isan town. They're the leading town of a province, but we'll see what we can find. But yeah, the sort of place to come and get out of the way and relax, maybe with a homestay, maybe even camping. And blow me, we're just on the descent round the corner and you come up to this place. This is a temple. Have you ever seen a better entrance to any religious establishment? That is absolutely crazy. And Dow's over the moon, because over the road there are 101 shops selling fruit and veg, which I presume will help towards our little snacks in the hotel tonight. So I don't see us going far in Chaiyaphum. We're both jaded. Look at it. How astonishing. Well, I often say emblazoned across the national flag of Thailand should be the words "never presume," and no clearer case in point. So yeah, Chaiyaphum looks a typical sort of Isan small city. Your usual shops, little markets, plenty to eat and drink in a region where the world champions of eating, sleeping and drinking live throughout Isan. And I tell you what, you can't write it. Look at the name of those apartments over the road. Manu apartment, I ask you. Big roundabout in the centre of Chaiyaphum. Lots of traffic around it. The statue in the middle is for a famous local man, Chaiyaphum, who fought the Vietnamese, the famous Thai warrior, and his monument is there for locals to be reminded of it. Thai equivalent of the Golden Arches. A beer sign and a traditional looking restaurant with music. Yeah, interesting afternoon yesterday, because we arrived in Chaiyaphum and I received a message just as we entered town, having not got much of a signal while we were in the mountains, saying that Agoda had cancelled my reservation here at the Hop Inn. So I explained what had happened to the young ladies at reception, and they were fantastic. They said, "Oh, don't worry, you haven't been charged. Join me up as a member and we got a big discount." We like hopping, think budget travel lodge sort of thing in England. They are budget, but the rooms are spotlessly clean, the buildings are new, everything we need for one night. We paid $670 last night for a room. So today, the final leg, and it's been a long old journey. Started off on the 22nd of March, heading up to Loy, Chiang Khan, Uttaradit, Chiang Mai for 11 nights, down to Sukhothai, across to Kamphaeng Phet, here to Chaiyaphum, and today home to Sisaket. Well, it'd be nice to get back home. We're not in a great rush, it's not a race. So we stopped at a place called Chiang Mai Chaiyaphum, which is in the north of the province of Buriram. We've come to see a historical site. That, for those of you who can read Thai, is a school. We nearly went into the school by mistake. Yeah, this is better. Prangku Suantang it's called, and they're basically ancient Khmer ruins going back an awful long time. We'll have a quick look around while Dow parks up. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. It was a lovely trip, and it's wonderful to share it with you. If you have enjoyed the content, please feel free to subscribe and tell your friends about it. Ask any questions as ever in the comment box. Always happy to answer and liaise with you. And until next time, please keep watching. We've got plenty more videos coming up on my channel, showing you all about Thailand and places that you might not normally consider visiting. Until next time, take care.